and welcome back to yet another video, and to one of my favorite videos to do every year because this is my 2024 birthday haul. Today, May 2nd, is my birthday. Thank you all so much to everyone who's wished me a happy birthday today. It really means a lot to me. I turned 20 today, which is wild to think about. I have not fully processed that. I've been on this planet for two decades. That's insane. My dad wakes me up this morning and he says, "Do you know what the #1 movie was 20 years ago today?" It was Mean Girls. And he said the #1 song the day I was born was Yeah by Usher. Just some 20 years ago today trivia for you. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone who's wished me a happy birthday. And huge thank you to my family, as always, for providing me with these wonderful gifts that I'm about to share with all you guys. We have a very, very cool haul here today. I'm very, very happy with this one. We have 8 die-casts and one special non-die-cast item that I'm going to save for the end of the haul. It's by far, in my opinion, despite not being a die-cast, one of the coolest things I've ever gotten in the history of this channel. I am so excited to take a look at it with you guys. It is a Cars item. I'm not about to show you, like, I got a new camera. I didn't. I'm still using an iPhone 7. That's what I should ask for my birthday, a new phone. I really need to upgrade soon. But yeah, we have 8 die-casts that I'm very excited to get into. Of course, regarding reviewing these, I'm going to be putting up a poll like I typically do on my community page so you guys can vote for what item you want to see me review first. I do have a few other items I have to review before I get into the birthday haul. Still have to review Glow Racers Fillmore and DJ and Wingo with Flames. I may alternate between birthday haul and new car, birthday haul, new car. We'll just have to see. But a few days ago I announced I'm going to be starting daily reviews, and this is a pretty good time to do it because not only do I have those 3 cars to review, I now have 8 more die-casts to review, and I have 2 absolutely massive hauls coming in very soon from 2 different friends of mine. 2 of the greatest hauls in the history of my channel. One of them has almost 30 cars in it. It's going to be insane, guys. It's going to be insane. So that's why I switched over to doing daily reviews, or that's why I'm switching to daily reviews. Because pretty soon, there are going to be a lot of cars I'm going to have to review. And that's already starting to pile up with the birthday haul. So without any further ado, let's quit the talking and go to some more talking, but this time about the cars I got. We have a very good amount of variety in this haul. Items from all 3 Cars movies, plus Cars Tunes and Cars on the Road. The bulk of these guys are Cars 2, but we're going to start with our one item from the first Cars movie. This is Nelson Blindspot. Nelson Blindspot, of course, was a deluxe in 2014, one of the camera cars positioned outside of the Motor Speedway of the South, alongside fellow camera guy Chuck Choke Cables. I don't have either of them, but Nelson is certainly a really, really great one. I think I prefer him to Chuck. When I saw that this car was pretty cheap online, I knew I wanted to get my hands on it because there's a lot of potential with this guy in Cars Adventures. It's a very unique kind of camera car. It's a TV camera car, not just a typical press paparazzi guy. So being able to have this guy with a full camera attached that, yes, does say his name, Nelson, is really, really nice. This is one of those items that I wanted to get, not only because it's a very unique item, but also because I know there's potential for this guy in Cars Adventures. I've done a lot of episodes over the years involving filming TV shows and stuff, and having a designated camera car is really, really nice for that. Anyway, let's move on to our Cars Tune item. Just one from that as well. As per usual, I like to go in order of the piece of Cars media it comes from, and also go chronologically from there. This guy comes from 2010, from Rescue Squad Mater, one of the first Cars Tune releases. We have the Rescue Squad Trooper. When I think of this guy, I always think of the Cars Police, who used the Juan, the Rescue Squad Trooper, I think he had his name be, as sort of his channel mascot for quite a while. This guy was number 3 in the Cars Tunes line, so like I said, one of the first ones. And it's not too common. You get to add a car to your collection that's a Cars Tune diecast that isn't a McQueen or Mater and isn't from Tokyo Mater, you know? I'm pretty sure I have almost every Rescue Squad Mater character, at least one of most of them. I know I don't have Mia and Tia, or the other ones that were sold in multi-packs and stuff, but got the Rescue Squad Trooper. Very, very nice. I always talk about how I really want Mattel to just release blank police cars. Unfortunately, he isn't that. He is a Rescue Squad car, but Hey, he's close enough, right? Very similar to Axle Accelerator, but a very, very nice release. Now, let's break on into the world of Cars 2. Let's see, which of these guys was released first? That's right. Coming in next, for the record, half the haul, 4 of these 8 cars are from Cars 2, so we're going to be in Cars 2 for a little while. Up next we have number 37 in the initial Cars 2 line. This guy was a 2012 release, the one and only Bindo Maserati. Now, I think his name is just Bindo, but I believe he's named after Bindo Maserati, one of the founders of Maserati, so that's where his name comes from. Carlo and Bindo, with Carlo, of course, being another Cars 2 background character, one I got several years ago, and Bindo's been on my radar ever since. Bindo is one of those Cars 2 background characters that were released really early on, but like nobody has any clue where he showed up. I'm pretty sure he's at the airport, I think he is. I'll have to double check that before I put him into my collection. I gotta find the right place for him. But he's a really, really nice one. Pretty generic background character, pretty obscure background character, and also a pretty cheap one. You know, I guess people not knowing where Bindo appears has led to him not being the most desirable item, maybe, I'm not sure. But he has a very nice car. Of course, repaint of Carlo Maserati, a very nice shade of blue there. I'm not really a real-life car guy, you guys know that if you know me. But it is always nice getting real-world cars in my collection. For example, our next item is another real-world car. Victor Pavillon. This guy, of course, is a Jaguar from the 2013 Palace Chaos line. I really, honestly, I don't know how I feel about this guy. I wanted to get my hands on him because he's such a unique-looking release. Jaguars are such an interesting-looking kind of car. And while I'm not the biggest fan of their design, it's been translated really, really well into the Cars diecast line. Of course, he's not the only Jaguar in the toy line. We also have David Hubscap and Leland Turbo. I'm going to be honest, I kind of wanted this guy just to see what a car that's Leland Turbo's mold looked like. I know Leland Turbo is too expensive for me to get, but I do have David Hubscap with headset, but I wanted to see what this model is like without the headset, just on the generic background character. Always nice to get blank cars. I say that all the time, but it's super, super nice, and I always love getting more unique ones. I've been wanting to expand my London cars collection for quite a while, which I certainly did with some items from my Christmas haul. Now it's nice to get another London car. Anyway, I know this next item is going to excite a lot of you. This has been a pretty notable missing car from my collection for quite a while. It's Vladimir Trunkov. I never got my hands on regular Vladimir Trunkov. All this time, I've only had the incredibly rare parking boot variant, but now we finally have regular Vladimir. Of course, Vladimir came back in 2023, and I wasn't able to get my hands on him, but now I have his 2013 release here, which looks really, really good. I wanted this guy for such a long time. I'm so glad to finally have my hands on him. Just his regular non-parking boot variant. Really, really great to have another one of the lemon heads in my collection. That means I believe all I'm missing is J. Kirby Gremlin from Detroit. And then I'll have all 4 of the lemon leaders there. And now, our 4th and final Cars 2 diecast, which is probably my favorite Cars item. I was going to say Cars 2 item, but I meant to say it's probably my favorite diecast in the entire haul. Let me introduce you to my new friend, Emmanuel, the very, very, very annoyed French bus. This is an item that's been on my radar for years, and I know I say that about a lot of items, but Emmanuel is one that I've truly wanted for such a long time. I absolutely love this mold, just a big bus. I've wanted either Emmanuel or one of those buses from Planes, Fire, and Rescue since like 2017. I've been eyeing a big bus from the car series to add to my collection, and Emmanuel is such a great one. I found that there were some pretty cheap listings for him on eBay, so I'm so happy to finally have him. Cars from France, that's another area I've really wanted to expand in my collection, so he helps tick off that box. Speaking of tick off, he looks very ticked off. Look at how upset he is. I absolutely love this item. This is such a cool car. This guy is like, he's so heavy and he's absolutely like he's so close to not even being able to fit in a deluxe bubble, you know? He's like the absolute limit of how big a deluxe could be. Incredibly impressive item there. I cannot wait to take a look at this guy. I cannot wait to see how much space he takes up where I store my cars. Yeah, very, 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 very cool one. Now we move on to another car that helps fill in a gap in my collection. This is our one Cars 3 item for the haul, which is kind of, sort of Cars 3. It's Cars 3, but it's a bit of a special edition variant of a Cars 3 character. It is Racing Red Cruz Ramirez. Now, here's the thing. I adore the Racing Red line. Easily one of my favorite special edition metallic diecast lines of all time. The metallic red looks so cool. I love how they changed the character's other colors to this nice silver. And for years, I've only had 4 of them. I was able to find Sally, Francesco, and Jackson in stores. I got McQueen for Christmas. And I've been missing Cruz and Mater. Now, as you're all probably well aware, Racing Red Mater is stupid expensive. He's like $100 for no good reason. I guess the reason is his case was really hard to find. So, for years I've known I'm never going to get a full set of Racing Red cars. And because of that, I've kind of avoided Cruz. But the thing with Racing Red Cruz is she's actually pretty cheap online. She tends to go for around about $15. So, eventually I just decided, you know what, I want to get Racing Red Cruz. So, of course, I asked her for my birthday, as you can see here. I think I asked for her for Christmas as well. And now I've gotten her here for my birthday. Typically, I reuse the lists. That's something I've done several times over the years. When I started working on my birthday list, Robin Tailsfighter and I always do it together. We spend a few hours looking at what cars are good prices online and which ones I should ask for. We oftentimes start by looking at my last list, seeing which items I still want, which items are still affordable, and we sort of, you know, make a new list based on the old one and adding new things. So cars like Racing Red Cruz, Vladimir, Bindo, I'm pretty sure Emmanuel as well, and Nelson Blindspot. A lot of these cars are kind of repeat offenders, which is part of why I always say that they've been on my radar for a while. Yeah, I love Racing Red cars. It's so cool to add Cruz to my collection. I know I will never be able to have a full set of Racing Red cars, but I could be one step closer. I have too many Dinoco Cruzes, but I make an exception for one that isn't yellow and will actually stand out on my shelf. And now our final diecast, before we move on to our final special item, is from Cars on the Road. If you've been following my channel, you might know I've been able to get my hands on nearly every On the Road diecast, but a few have slipped through the cracks. One of those is Randy, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but he's back out for 2024, so I wasn't really concerned about him. There is one other item from On the Road from 2023 that I'm missing though. And as soon as I learned that they wouldn't be out in 2024 again, I knew I had to jump on them. This was a car that I know a lot of people were able to find very easily. This case ended up in a lot of Targets, but my Targets were unfortunately all like a year behind when this wave hit. We all know Targets in the US have been in a really bad place up until recently. We're kind of on the Target redemption tour right now, which is pretty nice. But there's one item that, you know, it didn't hit my stores. And although I knew a lot of people who were able to get their hands on it, I assumed that if I were to look it up, it would probably be really expensive. It's not. It's about $10. It's Squat. Squat is genuinely, this is going to sound stupid, but Squat is genuinely one of my favorite releases from 2023. I held off on doing a My Favorite 2023 Cars list because I didn't have Squat yet. I believe she's the last new On the Road release I needed for 2023, so it's nice to be able to complete that collection again, other than Randy, who is back out again for this year, so I'm not really concerned about getting my hands on him. As soon as I knew that Squat wasn't returning for this year and she was super cheap, I knew I had to get my hands on her. So yeah, although she's a birthday haul item, since she is a new release, I may throw her in with the pool of new items I have to review, like Fillmore and the Cars with Flames. We'll just have to see. I'm going to put up a poll as per usual. Again, you guys can vote. Let me know in the comments, though, which of these items you want me to review first, because, of course, I could only put, 5 options. on a YouTube community page poll. So let me know which 5 of these 8 cars you want to see me review most, and we'll make a poll out of them. And then, of course, do some more polls and figure it all out. But now it's time for our very special final item. You guys might know I recently started a series called Ty's Cars Book Club, where I review old Cars books. I did an episode, Rashid Reviews did a great episode for part of my Teacher Reviews Ty guest host week. And so I was looking into Cars books, good ones that I could review, and I found the perfect item. I'd like to introduce you guys to the Cars Comic Treasury, a book from, I believe, 2017, featuring over 700 collected pages of Cars comics. At the beginning of the book are comic adaptations of the first 2 movies, taken from previous releases. You could see the whole first movie in there, and then the Cars 2 comic I reviewed the first issue of. That's part of why I wanted this book. It contains both issues 1 and 2 of the Cars 2 comic, and I only had issue 1. And then after that, you see all of these like blue pages in the back? See, I assume this was a collection of just all of the old Cars comic issues, Adventures of Tow Mater, Route 66 Dash, etc. But I was shocked to open it up this morning and find the rest are the magazine comics. Most of the 700 pages of this book are just a compilation of all these super cool old Cars magazine comics. I was not expecting that. That's absolutely amazing. You can see we just passed the Carnival Racers comic. I know a lot of people who have really been looking forward, or really been trying to track down, the Cars magazine comics, because they're kind of hard to get your hands on sometimes. I know they were collected in other places. I think like the Boom Studios Cars comics, which came out around the same time. But yeah, this is a collection of the Cars magazine comics, and I cannot wait to dive into this. Considering how long this book is, I'm going to be doing several videos on this. I think I'm going to split it up into, let's see, maybe, how many pages are there? Okay, yeah. 720 pages. So I think I'm gonna divide it and maybe go 100 pages at a time or something along those lines, at least with all of these little stories on the back. It's gonna be a very, very exciting and interesting thing. Now, it should be noted, it does say hundreds of pages of original comics, and I don't know if that means if these aren't the magazine comics and they're just formatted the same way, or if that just means that these aren't adaptations of the movie. Definitely let me know in the comments if you guys know anything more about that. But I am so excited to take a look at this. I cannot wait. This is going to be so fun doing a series of all of the stuff in here. We're going to start out by doing the Cars 2 issue 2 in its own video. Then we'll do the Cars adaptation, and then again start diving into all of the amazing things here. Just flipping through it, it looks so fun, and I can't wait. I'm gonna read it for the first time with you guys on video. So excited for this. And there we have it, guys. The full 2024 birthday haul. My camera angle isn't the best today. Let's just try to make it work. And Vladimir in there. Cruz, you could go over here. And Bindo, you could go over here. And Victor, you could hide back here because you're kind of weird looking. There we go. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.